Today I'm looking at Verses. This is the from Ryuhei Kitamura. Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce that name again. I think I've already messed it up badly enough. And he's director of lots of stuff like Midnight Meat Train, Godzilla Final Wars. He's been around. He's done some Japanese films. He started out independent. This was his Versus was his big claim to fame. So there was a film put on the map. It was the early 2000s. It was independently made with some financing, but they were pretty much roughhousing it when they're making the film and running out of money and trying to get more money, and they were doing it kind of like the way Robert Rodriguez was doing his early films as well. Maybe a bit higher budget, but not much. And it was just an action movie. In this one, he's kind of equivalent of Robert Rodriguez and El Mariachi. He's doing an action movie, a pure action movie. That's it. There might be a bit of humour here or there, but he's there for the action. He's trying to be an action exploitation director. That's what he's trying to do, make it inventive. And it's really enjoyable. Now this edition, you get two different copies of it. You get the original version, plus you get the recut version, Ultimate Versus, which they added a few scenes and recut a little bits and bobs to make it smoother. Really did that a few years later. And you've got commentaries, you've got little documentaries, stuff like that. So it's a nice little package. The film itself is more interesting from the production side than the actual film. The film is fun, but it's kind of hard to talk about because it's just action, in a low budget. And basically, it starts off with these gangsters who are have kidnapped this woman and they're going to this forest under orders from the boss. At the same time, this guy's escaped from prison with this other prisoner who they're told to meet these gangsters at the edge of the forest. It turns out when they meet up, everyone's kind of arguing pretty quickly. They had this big debate for the boss, and this is kind of a resurrection forest. It's a supernatural forest. It's tied to portals to hell or wherever. And if you shoot someone, they come back as a zombie. And there's lots of zombies hanging about. And these zombies can fight and punch and everything else. They're not traditional zombies at all. They're not fast moving zombies, they're just zombies who can fight. And you have to shoot them and attack them. And it turns out our lead character is the only one who can kill them. Because he's an important person. Kind of like the Highlander or something like that. He's one of the few immortals who are of resurrection people who have come back again and again and who are important and have a special ability that mere mortals don't have. And he's a great fighter who never loses. And basically it's him starting off fighting the gangsters, then him fighting the gangsters fighting the zombies, then fighting each other again, then finding out that it's a part of a bigger plane, other people are starting to get involved. Most of the gangsters get turned into zombies, fighting zombies, and they all fight again and again until the main villain and the main hero get to fight over a girl, and the hero wins. That's the story, that's it. It's something like, you can say that spoilers, you know that's going to happen in the first 5 minutes. It's that kind of movie where the plot is so obvious from the off. There's going to be no variation, there's going to be no surprises. It's going to be everyone fights each other, there are zombies, and again, at the end it'll be hero versus villain. You know that from the off. The big boss who they talk about will turn up, they'll fight. That's it. The joy is the variation of the fights. The fights themselves aren't great. The fights are choreographed and all the rest of it, but they're not like the most amazing choreography. They're doing it on a budget. They're using camera techniques more than amazing moves to give you energy. They don't have the best actors involved. In the commentary, the director admits that the lead actor's dialogue is awful. He jokes about it. He's having fun with the commentary because he's looking back at it. His dialogue is awful. which is nice because it kind of is. um, but it doesn't matter though. It's just enjoyable. It's really silly. I mean, it is kind of like a live action cartoon. Now people get killed and come back. The secondary villain is way over the top, but really enjoyable. He's more enjoyable than the main villain. You want to see him keep coming back because he's a total sadist. He's vain. He's obviously stereotypically gay because one of the other men with him, the gangsters, is obviously his lover, and it's you think it'd be really offensive, but it's just like that's what they are. They're villains too. That's it, and it doesn't matter. And it's just he's just so over the top and so much fun. He's the most fun in the film. There's another sidekick gangster who's also a bit of a coward, who's also enjoyably over the top performance. So most of the fun comes from the comic villains, and then in a situation that are way over their heads. The heroes, who's the actor has been in quite a few films. He's fine. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the most amazing actor in this film, but he does his job well, and he poses well. I mean, this film is so influenced by The Matrix with the leather jackets and stuff. It's also so influenced by Blade. The hero has a leather jacket for most of the film, and he always switches a lot. Something like kind of like what Wesley Snipes did in Blade. You know, it's so influenced by Blade 2. Oh no, the first Blade, I mean, not Blade 2, the film. Blade, Matrix, Sam Raimi shots in a forest, zombies you can beat up a lot. I mean, it wears its influence on its sleeve, and it knows you know the influence. He's got a massive gun, which is obviously the Robocop gun that blew up Ed 209 in the first film. It doesn't try to hide its influences. It's got a leading lady who is practically useless for most of the film. She's so useless that the hero bonks in the head every time there's an action scene, so she won't get in the way. That's how little he respects her. There's some nice bits of dark humour. Like there's a bit in the beginning when we first meet the hero, he's got his handcuffs on. There's a hand where he's always been sawn off to get away from somebody. So he takes the hand out, the handcuffs. This hand. It's only a hand left. And then later on, you see the guy who's just lost his hand. And he wants revenge, and it's like it's a nice bit of dark humour there. The whole film's like that. The whole film's just silly, but it's enjoyable just to watch. I mean, it's a very nice pack you get from Arrow. I'm not sure it's worth buying at full price, but in a sale, it's definitely worth your money because it is enjoyable. It's really enjoyable. It just is. I saw the trailer for this when I was younger, and I thought it looked amazing. And then, when it was released in 2000, so I wasn't that young even then. But it looked fun. And I finally get to see it, and it was fun. Exactly what I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's kind of obvious from the trailer what it is, and it's obvious from the first 2 minutes of the film what it is. So, it's just an enjoyable bit of trash. I think you'll enjoy it if you look at it in the right fashion. It's a B movie, it's an O&B movie. It's a lot of energy. The plot is not worth worrying about. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's just the fun fight scenes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon with some more.